You're tuned into Tampa Bay's RBLR Sports.
Hello, how are you doing today? My name is Liz. That's Tom DePinto. This is RBLR Sun. And the state of Florida is yellow and blue.
Let's go.
It's a good day. It's always a good day to be a Sun fan, but it is a good day to be a Sun fan.
Oh my God. It took these teams 5 games to figure out who wanted to win.
Yeah, we really were like the promise of, we played at least 2 of these matches on Women's Equality Night on either side.
Yeah.
So who knows? Yeah,
the women were very equal for so much of this. The first game was the preseason game. Nobody wanted to. You don't want a preseason win. There's nothing to that. Who cares? And then we had a couple Women's Equality Nights, and I think 1 or 2 legitimate draws. The other ones I don't count. So finally, game number 5, number 4 on the regular season, last chance. When was the last time a derby started with 3 straight draws? But we finally
I don't know, but we ended it.
That's a Fort Lauderdale team that was undefeated through, what's the stat they were throwing out all week at us? Undefeated through 9 games, 7 out of 9 wins. Those 2 not wins in that streak were draws to us. And then, of course, it had to be us to put an end to it. We love ending hot streaks. That's what we do at Big Jim Stadium.
This is true. Tom,
yeah.
Before we get into it, though, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. This thing just came to say hi, so that's pretty cool.
Fafo! That's my nephew. I love him.
Put him down. He looks a little mad. My lacrosse team has a district semifinal tournament game tomorrow, so I am on edge and will be for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
But, you can't go wrong riding the immaculate high of being the football queens of Florida. So I'm doing good.
Shutout. A beautiful shutout.
Great performance by everybody. Pat yourself on the back if you were there. If you watched on TV, if you heard about it from a friend, you helped.
Yeah, absolutely. So today you should subscribe, hit all the buttons. The buttons are below, but hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're not on YouTube, go to our youtube.com /@RBLR Sports. And you can see our beautiful faces. You can see Fafo just now. He's adorable. He's a beautiful little orange man, and I love him. Let us know if you were at the game.
Yeah.
We're going to chat with Vivianne Bessette later, and then we're going to preview Lexington. But first, we're going to recap our match against Fort Lauderdale. Yes. Where we won 2-0. 2-0.
Finally.
I was really happy when we got that first goal. I was a little on edge, and then we got that second goal, and then the Everglades County Collective or whatever tweeted, frick. And I was like, yes, they're worried. It was just the one word, frick. It was great.
They saw it coming. The foreshadowing was there. That's a fan base down there in Fort Lauderdale that is all too used to going on the road to Tampa and dropping points. So I'm glad we can keep this tradition alive. The Rowdies always had the better of the Strikers. They've got the overall win record in that derby, and now the Sun have the better of United in that. We are keeping Tampa Bay soccer on top.
Where we should be.
Right. Not in 5th.
And honestly, you want to talk about the lineup? So
yeah.
We did do is it 3-5-2? Yeah, 3-5-2.
We did a 3-5-2. On the graphic on the broadcast, they kind of set it up as a 3-2-3-2, which isn't all that inaccurate, but we do like to kind of move the pieces around without the ball or with the ball, as all soccer teams do. If you're new to soccer, that's something I would like to tell you. The formation is not always going to be, a 4-4-3 or whatever. It changes throughout the game. You move sideways, you move up when you have it, when you don't. But this is that formation Liz and I have been vocally and actively enjoying watching. When we talk about DSP's Pretty Soccer, yep, hashtag pretty soccer, this is what we're talking about. It always seems to be generated out of the 3-5-2. And that's because I think we have a lot of players in the midfield who should be in the midfield, so the 5 works there. We have some strong pieces in the back. The wing backs love to go up and down. We've got players on the wings who really play that sideline phenomenally. And of course, we have a great goaltender in Ashley Orcus to really snuff out anything going on. So it's a good 3-5-2. We, of course, didn't have Andrea Hawksdaughter, Sydney Schneider, and Cecilia Flew due to their international commitments. But I think this is pretty close to the best lineup we could have put out with those 3 missing. Of course, Orcus in goal. Love to see her. She had her swag going on. And then the 3 across the back, we started with Jackie Simpson, Henny in the middle as the lone center back, and Viv Bessette on the right. In the middle, they did mention on the broadcast the double pivot. I think this was less of a double pivot than you would normally see us run in a 5 midfielder set. This wasn't so much Jade Moore and Jordan Listro sitting back to help connect the dots. This was Moore and Listro playing that interior alley more than down low in a block. There was a lot of expectations put on the wing backs, Sydney Nacelle on the left and Doria Haugen on the right. A lot of expectations on them to be able to go upfield and create crosses, create chances, and to come back and support and act as those 4th and 5th defenders when we were out of possession. And they did a really good job of that. And the fact that those 2 players on the wings, Nacello and Haugen, were able to do that created a lot of opportunities for Jade Moore and Jordan Listro to attack up the gaps in front of them. Carly was the center midfielder. She's got gravity. She's got linkage. She can attack. She can disrupt. So she looks really comfortable there. I think that's a great spot. And then our 2 up top, we're playing fairly interchangeably as a real strike team. I know in the past in some other games, we've had quote unquote 2 strikers or 2 forwards, and it was more one hanging back and like a Flew or somebody just hanging out with the back line or with the goalie way far up there. This was a lot more even, I think. Parker Goins started alongside Tosh Flint as the 2 forward players. And they did a good job harassing, keeping the ball moving around when we didn't have it, occupying space, applying pressure. And a lot of what this game came down to tactically was the ability of our center midfielders, Carly, Jade, Jordan, to find space and exploit it. And when you've got the speed of Haugen and Nacello on the wings to occupy things, to really spread the ball out wide, spread the defense out wide, that ends up creating a lot of space in the interior for those 3, 4, 5 players in the attack to create chances. And I think we saw a lot of that. It's textbook soccer out of the DSB textbook, and it's happening. So that's what we had to work with, and boy, did it worked.
Oh yeah, for sure. Coming right out the bat, like the first minute, you see Jordy Listro just like she's coming out hot. She wants the ball. The ball is hers. That is my captain, and I love her.
Yeah, my God. Jordan Listro set the tone from the get-go, foreshadowing for everything that was going to come on. She looked like a captain who wanted to win a derby game,
Yeah, which was a common theme, I feel like. Fort Lauderdale in general just kind of looked tired. Like they kind of looked like us against Spokane last time. Was the best way I heard it presented. And I think that's pretty accurate. They look tired, which is weird because they haven't had a game since like March 22nd or something like that. It's been a minute. So maybe they've had too long of a break. I don't know. But they just didn't look, it was obviously they weren't as sharp as they normally are, but it was just weird to see them like that, honestly.
Yeah, way more passive than you normally see out of Fort Lauderdale. I think Tyrone Mears has a good team, well coached down there. This was not their night. We executed in all the ways we should have, and they just never got in a gear, it kind of seemed like, all 90.
Yeah.
Much to our benefit. I'll take it.
Yeah, like I said, the first minute Jordy comes out hot. The second minute she fouls them. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. Storybook.
I'm here for it. We came out wanting to win this.
Yeah.
Nasillo goes wide. She wants this chip shot, and she's going to try for it all game.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a shot so much as she's trying to chip it over the defense to somebody on the back post, more of a pass.
Okay, yeah.
Because something I noticed about her play, especially lately, especially in this game, she likes to take on that one defender that they set her up with right around the box, beat her in there, and she stopped taking these kind of low chance, low tight angle shots from where she ends up. And instead, she'll get to the end line and turn her body back towards the rest of the field and try to find somebody there instead of just putting it on net and hoping for a rebound and hoping something happens. I'm sure that's something that the coaches told her to do, but it also means she trusts her team to be there where she needs them. And a lot of the time where we're starting to click a little bit more. You'll see later in the game where we're supposed to be in a way we haven't been.
Yeah.
So I think that's the game plan with Sydney now, is to let her dribble, but then use her ball skills to pick somebody out.
Yeah, that makes sense. 14th minute, disaster strikes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Jackie Simpson goes down. Paige comes in. She's down for about 4 minutes, which explains why we have, I think it's like 6 minutes of extra time.
Yeah.
So it really was about probably 5 minutes and then plus one for the goal that we get. She was down for a while. When she came back out to the field after getting treatment, she was wrapped up pretty good and on crutches. And then she did confirm today on Wednesday that it is an ACL tear.
Yeah.
Which frickin' blows.
Obviously the low light of the game. That's our
I don't understand why Big Jim Field has decided to commit these crimes against our players, but if it could not,
if he could just be cool.
Yeah,
that's a bigger issue in women's sports, just the ease of tearing your ACL. It's a hideous sentence to say. But yeah, that's our second one. I don't know what the logistics of it are for the team, for the club, for the school, but grass would be preferable. Let's put it out there. Kayla Marchese came back from an ACL tear just to tear after 10, 15 minutes on the field. 10, 15 minutes into this game, Jackie Simpson tears. It's not good. We don't love it at all.
No.
So obviously, you got to regroup. We wish Jackie the best. We hope to see her next season. But what do we do now that we have a hole in our defense? We've got some players that can sub in there. Paige came in and did the job extremely well for herself as the substitute for the rest of the game. But you got to start thinking. Jackie Simpson, not Jackson, came from the practice squad. I know down there on the practice squad, we also have USF grad Peyton Felton, a defensive midfielder, and we have a center back in Bree Blethen from USF as well. So maybe we see one of them called up to the first team to plug the gap and give us a little more defensive depth like we need.
Yeah, and obviously I don't love the circumstances, but I'm hopeful that we do pull someone up maybe from that practice squad so that they can get an opportunity to maybe even just a couple minutes at the end.
Yeah, and again, the practice squad is a bizarre thing. I love that we have it. Not sure what the logistics of it are like for other teams, whether or not they have one. But the fact of the matter is we have one, and that means we have a couple rotating players, 3, 4, 5, who know what our game plan is. And that makes signing players a little bit easier for us than it is for a lot of other people. Lexington, our opponents this week, went out and signed like 8 players during the winter break and got a new coach. And you can see in their game plan a lot of disjointedness where a team like us, where we're all very ingrained in what we want to do, you're not going to see that if we have to plug somebody else in. So something to consider, something to look out for. If we do end up signing Felton or Blethen, everybody owes me $1 for recalling it. That's how we monetize this.
Fair enough.
Cool.
All right. I feel like not a ton happens. There's a lot of good passing. A lot of good passing. I am a fan of the passing of this game.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 passing. Thank you.
Yeah, I think things kind of slow down, and ACL tear takes the wind out of things. And you can see it. We weren't gunning to goal or pressing quite as hard, but the passing was still good. We were creating chances. Yeah, I don't know if it was just the vibes and stands and stadium, but it did seem a little less intense than it did to start. But to that end, we were looking good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, like I said, some good passing. Fluted makes a really awful shot in the 26th minute, which also happens to be the first sighting of my mom and dad.
Shout out.
Yeah. 28th minute, Nasello makes a great shot that Morshey catches. 29th minute, I noticed we're like hurting them.
Yeah.
We took Fort Lauderdale and we're like, no, we're gonna hurt you in this. Just we're gonna keep you penned right in this area. About
anywhere you're not dangerous, that's where you can keep the ball. Couple stretches in the game. The possession numbers I think are in Fort Lauderdale's favor right at the end of the game.
Yes, they were. They were in Fort Lauderdale's favor, I think, the entire match.
Yeah, but the shots on goal, the XG, the chances created, none of that. It was a lot of us letting them have the ball in non-intimidating spots, kind of letting them pass around the middle of the field on their own third, the side of the field on our third if they got there.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. We're going to pounce when we get the chance.
Yeah.
And speaking of pounce when we get the chance, Liz, who pounced in the 31st minute?
Jordi Alba Listro.
Yeah.
Who loves the nickname, by the way. She said so in the press conference.
Yep.
So
we're keeping that. She's earned it now.
Because she scored with her left foot.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it is her first goal in the U.S. Very exciting. She said she scored in Spain. Mm-hmm. First U.S. goal with the Sun, the greatest soccer team in the history of the world.
Huge.
Yes,
yeah,
it was a beautiful goal. And she, oh man, I think it really lit the team on fire.
Yeah. I mean, a goal is always great. But man, when your captain, who hasn't scored all season, a veteran player, executes by jumping a pass from the goalie, just speedy blur out of nowhere, jumping the pass, coming around to the defender, and finding just enough time and space from well outside the box to pop it and curl it left-footed with her wrong foot or off foot. And man, it curled. You're not going to find too many nicer goals, honestly.
No, if that doesn't win goal of the month, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, we're a little bit biased, but this game should have a Tampa Bay Sun goal of the month and Tampa Bay Sun save of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Listro, for your first American goal, for your first goal with the Sun, for your first goal against a rival, you couldn't have hit it better. It was absolutely class.
Yeah.
It was the kind of thing she was foreshadowing doing all from minute one, with the way she was pressing, the way she was aggressive, getting stuck in, finding those alleys that I talked about, pressing forward while the wingbacks came down and she got the chance to shoot up. It's a different look to the game where she's not having to sit back as that pivot and work with the defense, this, that, the other thing. It's a lot more freedom than I think she's normally had, and she really benefited from it.
You know what our listeners could really benefit from?
What's that?
Liking and subscribing.
That's right. Like and subscribe.
Liking and subscribing. Hit the button below. Subscribe. Don't miss our beautiful faces. Our adorable kittens that we will show and also talk about.
Yeah. If you like and subscribe.
And also the news about the Sun, but the kittens mostly.
If you'd like and subscribe, you get some that Jordan Listro swag as well. It just comes straight to you with it.
It does, yeah. It kind of like through the earbuds into you.
Yep.
That's how it works.
That's vibe science.
Yeah. Amazing. A little bit later, around the 40th minute, poor Henny gets hip checked like in the tailbone, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're rubbing her butt afterwards. We've all felt it. We've all felt it. Oh, it looked awful. So
Really
shout out to
funny
her
visual.
because that woman sacrifices everything, her whole body for this
God.
team.
Tailbone, face, she does not give a
Yeah.
damn. She's a center back. She would have been right at home in like 1960s Premier League they didn't have the Premier League back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She gets
I also don't think women could play soccer back then.
Yeah, that gets
Sorry.
She would have Brooke Hendricks would have disguised herself as a man Mulan style.
Okay, fair
just
enough.
to play for like Brentworth Albington FC or something in the 12th
that's
division.
fair. Accurate.
That's the type of player she is.
Yeah. And the type of player Orcus is a shithouser. Taking as much time as humanly possible to reset the ball, which was great. I think at one point I clocked it at like a solid 10 seconds at least, which was very funny, and I'm a fan of it, honestly.
Her and Viv are like you said it right. Her and Viv are like Abbott and Costello back there.
Yeah,
like their comedy routines.
We said Orcus and Costello, or
Orcus and Costello. Yeah.
I
think my favorite bit that she'll do, and everyone is a little bit different. If you're watching The Sun, you need to not stop watching when we're setting up a goal kick, because that's when the flavor comes out.
Yeah. So we get a little spicy.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing that she tends to do is to like get the ball, kind of walk around with it, look kind of chill, check things out, put it down, look around, go hold on. Let me move it to the other side of the goal.
Yeah, let me wait, or you know what? We need to move it about 4 inches to the left or something like that. Yeah.
And then she'll do the bird wings. Everybody move up, please. Mm-hmm. And then just roll it out about 3 feet ahead of her for Bessette to get. Yep. Everybody move up. Here, Viv. Jesus Christ.
I love it.
She's so good. And then later in the game, when she starts getting the ball and going down, she stays down just long enough where the referee is about to talk to her, stands up, and then starts killing time all over again. She is a master of the dark art. She has some insane clock in the back of her mind ticking just to be like, how long can I keep my bullshit up?
I love it. The 42nd minute, if you go back, you can just hear Denise screaming, "Why?" It's just really funny. So I had to catch it.
Oh, you got yourself thinking about something? Good job, Liz.
It's very amusing. Honestly, it's worth going back to the broadcast if you have a minute. There's no GIF. It's just audio.
Yeah.
It's just audio. They're showing the field, and then you just hear, "Why?"
We could caption it because it's like a series of like ill-conceived sideline back passes by our team.
Yeah.
And louder than anything, Denise is going, "Why?" And the ball goes out of bounds, of course, because like, what are we doing? So yeah, not a good passage of play, but it created a very funny moment for us.
Yeah.
And speaking of, this was I don't know if this game seemed funnier than it really was because we won and the vibes were fantastic, or if there was just something especially comedic about that night. But just a little bit after that, I think basically after the possession that Fort Lauderdale gets from that, when we kick the ball out of bounds and Denise is yelling, "Why are we doing this?" Fort Lauderdale gets the ball, drives, takes a shot that is not ever going to be on frame, not on target, not going to trouble Ashley at all. And she still like dives after it. And it was like, Ashley, that's a little mean. That's bordering on being mean. I understand you're all professional athletes, but did you really got to do her so dirty like that by jumping after a shot that was never on target? So if this is just some like, they're not our rivals, we respect them. If this is that like seeping out in a sort of passive aggressive way, I love it. And I can't wait till we play them again next year.
Yeah, no, it was giving those video sets of cats doing like really epic like trying to launch themselves.
Yeah.
And then they go nowhere, so it's like, and then nothing happens basically. It's that's just what it reminded me of.
So it was a really epic looking setup for a dive that was just like unnecessary and just I love it. I don't know if like maybe she thought she had to start moving and start a jump and sort of abandon it halfway through or something, but either way, very funny, Ashley. Keep it up.
Yes. And then she does back that up by making a phenomenal save and just bear paws the crap out of a ball to get it out. And it was like she jumps like all the way up in the top corner. It was just a great save, honestly.
Yeah, but literally a potential save of the month. It was, the ball's curling to her left. She's got a track and she was in a good spot, not right on her line, a little bit far off of it, not too far away, which has been a concern for me with her. And she jumps up, gets that big right hand up, and just paws it away. It was, my God, she was cooking all night.
Oh yeah. And that's the kind of the high that we need her riding from the beginning. We like that. Gives us clean sheets. It also gives us 15-second goal kick resets.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I said 10 seconds earlier. I meant 15, by the way. I wrote it down wrong. All right, I didn't read it earlier.
Hey, when you make a save that good, you can take your time, I think. Yeah. When she is feeling herself, she is undoubtedly the best goalie in the USL Super League. Absolutely, no doubt in my mind.
Yes. Yep. We are not biased at all.
No. I mean, even from a non-biased perspective, you can sit here and say, look, she can have some weird games, and she has this season, and then she can also save penalties against Dallas early in the year. She can make these big time saves. She can feel confident enough to slow the game down and to be a bit of a pest as a goalie. As a goalie, if you're gonna shithouse, if you're gonna slow the game down, if you're gonna do these goofy things off the goal kick, if you're gonna lay down with the ball, it's coming from a place of confidence. No goalie who is shook or doesn't like how they're playing or feeling is doing anything other than trying to lock in and make saves. And she's enjoying the part of the game that is everything besides just her main job. If you're making the big save, you're keeping the clean sheet in a rivalry game, you can explore the other avenues of goaltending, which can and do sometimes reach out to include the dark arts of football.
Amazing. I just thought of this too. I'm wondering if how many other keepers are on their first professional contract with appearances, because I do know she had the, what was it, Kansas City, I think it was.
Not Kansas. Like a preseason invitee sort of dealie, right?
Yeah. It's on her Instagram or something. It's like she has like an announcement post with an NWSL team. I can't remember who it was, but I don't think she actually had any appearances. I think she got dropped before the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, this season, and that I think KC just had like 5 or 6 goalies in their camp for some reason.
Yeah, but I'm wondering now, how many of our other keepers who are like not necessarily like a second string keeper, or I say that, but like the keepers who have played the most minutes for their teams. If who else is a like a first, this is their first real contract with minutes. Yeah.
Or well, she did play in Iceland. Don't forget that.
How many matches?
Iceland amount. It's hard to find.
Oh, it's okay.
But she played. I've seen videos of it. I don't know if
okay,
that was
that's
practice.
Fair. All right, I apologize.
It was indoor, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That does count. I take it back then.
Yeah, apologize to Ashley and to the nation of Iceland, please.
Yeah, I apologize personally to Ashley Orcus and also the entire nation of Iceland. I am sorry. I forgot about you for a minute.
You forgot about Iceland. Don't forget about Iceland.
Yeah, I did. I
That's Andreas Hawksrudder's country. You can't forget.
I know.
But yes, she does. She is still a very young goalkeeper.
Yeah.
This is her first, I think, full season because Iceland does Iceland. Ooh, I don't want to get in the weeds here. Things get difficult for me. Does Iceland play the international schedule over the winter.
I just forgot the country of Iceland. You can't ask me that.
I can't ask you what their football league schedule is
Yeah.
like. You forgot they existed.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're from Iceland, yell at us in the comments.
What league or what's the schedule like for your soccer leagues?
Yeah, help us out.
Thanks.
Or Ashley, if you're listening, yell at us in the comments.
Yeah.
Regardless, for a young goalkeeper to be putting on this kind of performance, I mean, stellar. You shouldn't expect anything less out of her based off her college resume. SEC goalkeeper of the year. But how impressive she has been in the Super League is like, it's nutty. We are absolutely biased. We are probably the two biggest Ashley Orcas fans in the state of Florida. But
besides, in the state of Florida, say besides your parents, but they're not. I don't think they're.
She has family in college, whatever. In Florida, though.
Yeah.
So
so we go to the half. Sorry.
She helped us to a halftime lead, 1-0.
There we go. We were on the same page. I like it. So Shania Gordon, when we come back, managed to shoot so off target she hits the Heatwave Flyers out of the cup holders in the stands. So or very on target if she was shooting for like Tom.
Yeah, knowing Shania Gordon, I think that was probably a perfectly placed shot for her, actually.
Yeah. Because then Addie McCain comes back like 5 minutes later and tries again.
Yeah, but again, who knows with Shania Gordon? Either she is fueled by spite and plays exceptionally well when she's tapping into that energy, like with her first goal of the season against us, or she's a player that has 41 shots and 3 goals. Heavy silence.
Yeah, I think that speaks for itself.
What's up, Shania?
I do.
my close personal friend, Shania Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a really cool effect when she hit that cup holder, because the chants, the Flyers, they went everywhere. It was really cool looking.
Yeah.
I would like more players on the other team to do that more often, actually.
Yeah, actually, if you could hit the Flyers more often, Lexington, go for it. We actually challenge you to hit the Flyers.
Yeah, do it. Aim for us.
Yep.
Take a flag out of our hands.
Yeah.
We actually got a good amount of balls sent our way in this past game, didn't we?
We did. We need someone to actually, I hate to say it, we need someone to actually get hit so we can take a ball home.
Yeah.
I say they say that as their most expensive line item. Never mind. We're not getting the ball.
Mike even got hit, but he got the leg up. Showing he got.
Yeah.
He played soccer back in the day.
Addie McCain comes for my boyfriend Mike, who manages to kick it out of the way.
Yeah. He played for CCC. He knows what he's doing out there, all right?
I don't think he played soccer.
Did he not play soccer?
No, he played football.
Oh, yeah.
He played like 1 year of football and then was like, "No, I'm good." Which, I mean, understandable.
Well, hey, CCC produces athletes. What can I say? Go Marauders.
Yeah, you're not biased.
No, definitely biased on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they had some in this coming out in the second half. They had some good back and forth. I think Fort Lauderdale had a little bit of a better groove than they did in the first half. Not to say they score or nothing, but they were shooting more. Not to say they were on target or nothing.
Or accurate. No.
But they were shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Hot dog. Yeah, and then what we got some more Sun players just being monsters out there. Tosh Flint going out and bodying people.
She makes a pretty decent shot, honestly, and the ball bounces off a fluted player, and she just like body checks that.
Yeah,
which I'm here for. Let's do it. Fuck Fort Lauderdale. Go Tampa Bay. That's our one.
That's legit. Yeah, it was. I love when a player takes a shot and then just lets their momentum from the run just carry them straight into somebody. Like if somebody's shooting a soccer ball, they're by definition off balance. You got to be strong as the defender, and Fort Lauderdale's backline was not strong, physically or mentally.
No, yeah.
Really putting them on blast. And we deserve to. We beat them in the rivalry game. We can talk all the ish we want until next Super League season in like August, okay?
Yeah, and it wasn't a perfect game by any means. I'm glad we won. Well, no, because my next one is like the ball. Let's get to Shania Gordon in the box. She happens to shoot. We're lucky it's off target.
We're lucky it's Shania
like,
Gordon.
I don't want to not say that we did play well, but it was another game like Spokane where they took advantage of we took advantage of their mistakes, which was worked out very, very well.
Yeah, we
not to say we didn't play well and Orgus didn't make 1,000 great saves.
But we do a good job when we play well. We do a good job of covering our own mistakes. And there will be mistakes. No soccer team is perfect. Every sports team is going to make mistakes. NFL, MLS, Premier League, Super League, Championship, doesn't matter. You're going to make mistakes. You got to be able to cover them. And we kept a clean sheet, which means we covered. And we pounced on a couple of their mistakes and punished them for it. So it's, you do what you got to do.
Yeah. Around the 61st minute, Parker Goins comes out. Ava Tankersley, words. I can say names.
Yeah.
Comes in.
Tank Big.
Tank Big.
Her nickname isn't just Tank because it's short for Tankersley.
Oh, we looked up her height. Isn't she? She's like 5'11", right? That's what we looked up. Yeah.
She's huge, dude.
Yeah.
She looks big out there. Any chance you get to see her and Wasilla on the field next to each other? Hilarious.
I need a side by side. Oh my god. Yeah, because I think we looked it up. Wasilla's like 5'2", I think.
5'2" is her listed height, which is they always inflate a little bit too.
It's just like I'm 5'4".
Yeah. Miss Heatwave, hit these players up on Instagram and ask them for a Wasilla Tankersley side by side, please. Okay. We need that for the culture.
Yeah.
So we made that sub, kept the pressure on. Kiara Locklear had a nice shot. Ashley Orcus got on top of it. And then in the 72nd minute to close it out, we made some good defensive subs. Nacella came out for Jordan Zaid, who's proven she belongs there. I don't know if she's more defensive of a sub than Nacella, but Nacella works her ass off all game. She's like a pit bull. You got to put her in the crate so she stops running. And I like that analogy, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, you have to. Yeah, it's like a gray or like a greyhound where like you have to stop them or they'll run themselves to death kind of thing.
They don't know any better. It's what they're good at. Jade Moore also came out of the midfield, and we fully put the bus on center blocks here with this one. We got Wasilla back in the game. It seems like it's been a long time since we've seen her.
I love it. If this is parking the bus, I'm here for it. I love it. I am a fan because nothing felt like it changed. It was another one of those really beautiful, seamless transitions where nothing changed on the field. We were just as solid as we were 2 minutes before the subs.
Yeah. And the other sub was Jamona out of the midfield for Hannah Keene, who, despite being out of practice, out of play for 367
over a year,
she's come back in since that Brooklyn game.
Yeah, and does not play like it. Holy
looks
crap!
Incredible. She deserves all the accolades that were thrown at her when we first signed her.
Yeah.
Zaid, Wasilla in for Sid, Jade, and Carly. And we want to say, it's parking the bus, and I think Wasilla is indicative of that. She's a great midfield disruptor. But as much as we're parking the bus, 8 minutes after we made those subs, we scored a goal.
We did. Ava Tankersley came in for her first goal.
Yeah.
And just Tom, tell us about it.
Yeah, it's the same way the Jordan Listro 31st minute goal was very much orchestrated by Jordan Listro. I mean, that goal was 100% her. Had no help. This, if you watch any of Tank's play for Arkansas back in college, and you watch this, you're gonna feel like you're watching straight out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. This was classic Ava Tankersley ball. She gets kind of tangled up with a Fort Lauderdale player on the near side, the left side of the field, kind of around midfield, a little bit more towards the Fort Lauderdale side. She draws the foul, and sets us up. It's good to see a player get in and start pressing the issue, even if it's to defend a lead. It's just one, so we really didn't want to give up the goal. So she draws that foul in midfield, and the ball ends up working over to the right side where we wanted to press the issue then. Flint had it, found Zayd using her speed along the right side in a little give and go situation. And Zayd blows past her marker on the right wing, serves in across, real low, kind of almost slows down to the point of like stopping inside the box right in front of the goal. And Ava Tankersley beat her marker off of the back post, came in, found that ball, right-footed shot to the bottom left. It was perfect. It was something we needed out of our team. A player, and I think Parker did something pretty similar when she scored her goal too. We need players who can beat somebody without the ball to get to where the ball is going to be and finish. And we've got two very good new pieces, straight out of college with Ava, but straight to the Super League with Parker. She's got a lot of experience with Louisville, but we've got two new pieces up top that can do what I think we've been missing. And she put the dagger in the heart of Fort Lauderdale and etched her name in the history books. That was her first goal as a pro in just her fourth game, and she hasn't been getting a ton of minutes either. So I was a little worried about Ava Tankersley coming in. She looked like she didn't quite have her pro boots on when she first got on the field for us. But that goal is going to do wonders for her confidence the same way Listro's goal is going to do wonders for her. This is good. This is what we needed.
Yeah, no, that was just, honestly, second goal was just the icing on the cake. It came in the 80th minute. There wasn't a damn thing Fort Lauderdale could do about it.
Yeah.
It
10
was
more minutes left in
beautiful.
the game, but it was
just to watch them walk in, just so dejected,
yeah,
knowing they had finally lost. And I
game,
know that taking the Schadenfreude is bad, but you know what? I don't care. I can't say the word again, but I hate Fort Lauderdale.
It's a rivalry. We have to do this. The second goal happened in the 80 minutes, and the game was over. They did nothing else happen for the next 10 minutes.
Honestly, yeah. And not to say that that was a bad thing. It was just we didn't have to do anything. We just kind of controlled the game. We kept it. We parked the bus.
We did it. We were finally in a rare opportunity to do so, and we reveled in it.
Yes. It was good. Honestly, it wasn't a huge crowd, but the vibes were great. I'm very optimistic going into this Saturday against Lexington. But before I jump too far ahead, player of the match.
Player of the match for me, it has got to be oh captain, my captain, Jordi Alba Listro. She set the tone from the get-go with the early pressure in the first and second minute. She came up with an interception in the 31st and scored herself a lovely, lovely curler. And as a matter of fact, the last thing that happened before the referee blew the whistle was Jordan Listro putting a Fort Lauderdale player on the ground again. That game finished the same way it started, with Jordan Listro being a menace. So for that, she deserves player of the match honors from me.
Amazing. She is. She's honestly, I couldn't think of a better captain. No. My player of the match, to no one's surprise, is Ashley Orcus for that clean sheet, because I think she needed that a lot. We needed that a lot. It was just a great match. She made some great saves, came in clutch, and a lot of times it was just 10 out of 10 performance.
Yeah, Ashley got her groove back.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to keep that groove going.
Yes.
But first, we're going to talk to Vivianne Bessette. And I'm going to be joined by James, and it's going to be awesome. So we're going to go to that right now. And we're back. Hi, guys. So this is that interview that we promised you guys with Vivianne Bessette. And I have James Knowles, our fearless RBLR Sun writer, with us as well to help us out today. Hi, James. Hi, Vivianne. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Also doing well. Happy to be here with another Tampa Bay Sun player.
I know, we're so lucky. I have to shout out to the Sun front office and all their staff. Thank you so much for getting us these player interviews week after week. Viv, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from USF. You've been in Tampa Bay for a little bit, but what don't we know about you?
Well, I'm actually from Canada, and then I came to the States when I was like 16. I left super young, but my mom was also a professional athlete, so she was ready to let me go, and she knew that it was my destiny, like I had to do it. So I went to Montverde, which is in Orlando, for 2 years. I did my last 2 years of high school there, and then went to USF for 4 years, loved it. Obviously love Tampa, and then now I'm here.
That's really cool. What sport did your mom play?
She played handball. She played
Oh,
over in
wow, okay.
Yeah, so she knows a little bit what it takes, and she's my fan number one for sure.
That's really cool. So as you said, you've been in Tampa for, you said you did 2 years in 2016, so this is 2018.
Yeah, so in Orlando, and then 4 years Tampa in college. Yeah.
Okay, so is Tampa Bay kind of becoming like a second home since you've been here for a little while now? Do you see yourself staying here a little bit longer, or is the eventual, like, you'd like to go back to Canada?
I love Tampa for sure, and obviously my mom loves it here. She's always down here, and the rest of my family. But for sure, like, I don't know what's in the plans for me, but I'm going day by day and just trying to be better and do what I can and just see where it goes.
Awesome. So this is your first professional contract, correct?
Yes.
How does it feel? Like, you got it what was it? No, it was a little bit more it was like 6 months after you graduated, right?
Yeah, so it was not planned, but I was super excited. It was an amazing opportunity to stay here in Tampa, and obviously with Denise, I've done it for 4 years and loved it. So I was like, this is a no-brainer for me. And no, I truly love it. I love the girls. I love the coaching staff. I love Tampa. So it's just perfect fit.
That's awesome. So I saw that we're coming off of a game. We just beat Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
Finally, the ties are over.
Finally.
That game, I actually just rewatched that game last night for our notes. And I have to say, we looked a lot more on point than Fort Lauderdale did. What was the mentality going into that game?
I think we didn't want to have a slow start at all. We wanted to be the first team on every ball, second balls. We wanted to score first. We wanted to be really solid in the back. And I just think everything clicked for us last game. And obviously we want to just keep building off of last game and just keep the momentum for the next games because we need it. And I think the whole team was really happy with how we performed, and we just need to build from there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Watching that game, everyone was on fire. Like right off the bat, like you could see Jordy as captain was just like, nah, we're in this to win this.
For sure.
It was great.
Well, everyone was so ready, and we're so happy that we were able to perform at our best.
Yeah, I can tell you, as fans, we were absolutely elated to finally beat Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if you know the long history, but we had the Rowdies, the USL Championship team over on the St. Pete side, had the Fort Lauderdale Strikers for a little while, and they were kind of our big rivals. So when the Strikers kind of went away, we haven't had an in-state rival in a good long time. So it was not only is it exciting to have Fort Lauderdale here, but then we'll have Jacksonville next year, and we can have like a three-team derby going on. It's going to be very exciting. We really, I know as fans, we really enjoy these in-state stuff, these in-state rivalries.
We do too.
So what was the mentality after the game? I have to ask. Like after the game, were you guys, I hope you guys were satisfied with your performance, but how did you guys feel after the match?
For sure, we were definitely on a high, and everyone was super happy. And obviously, Jordy getting her first goal was amazing, and Ava came in and did her job. So everyone was super happy and like there for each other. Obviously, we want to look to the next week now. So this week we're training, we're working hard for next week and trying to keep the same results. Obviously we enjoyed it, we had our fun, and now it's like, okay, on to the next. Like, what's next? What can we do for the next week? So no, we're getting ready and we're excited.
That's great. Yeah, we are in that playoff push right now. So what individual like area of growth are you working on specifically to maybe to help the team achieve that?
For sure. Well, every day it's doing the extra after training. It's doing more positional, more functional. We just want to play as a team, honestly, and it's a team effort. It's for sure we can do the little things on the side individually, but at the end of the day, it's how do we play as a team? How do we do the tactics? How do we, score? How do we defend? So it's really a big team effort that we just need to keep training and keep having, everything meshed together and help us win.
Awesome. So I just a kind of a random question, but I have to ask. I read in your team bio that you speak 3 languages. So English, obviously. I'm gonna guess French is the next one.
Yes.
What's the third?
So Bulgarian. So my mom is from Europe. She's from
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So French is my first language.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it is. And then I've learned English through soccer clubs back home. And then obviously when I came to the States, it was very hard at first, but we're here now. But yes, Bulgarian is my third one. It's not so good, but I understand it way more than I can speak it. But yeah.
That's really cool. Did you how did you learn Bulgarian then? Was it just like picking it up through your mom? Did you go there?
So my mom tried to teach us when we were younger. When she was mad, she was like telling us in Bulgarian, or when we're in public, she was like talking to us in Bulgarian. But I also played for the youth national team for Bulgaria. I played with the U17 and U19 when I was younger. And then obviously Team Canada approached me for the U20s, and I decided to make the switch. But yeah, we went there as vacation, like every summer. I have family there. So yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. That's very, very cool. Thank you for telling us that.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to throw it over to James. James, did you have anything?
Yeah, I wanted to dial down on a couple of different things based off of what we have talked about so far. But I guess based on just the last question here, I wanted to go through a little bit more with the international game for you. So, like you said, you played for Canada at the U20s and Bulgaria beforehand. I think based off of the FIFA rules, you would have the option to file a switch if you wanted to go and play for Bulgaria. So my question is, if you can share, has Bulgaria been in touch about switching to play for them again? Or are you kind of focused on trying to get to a point where you could represent Canada at the senior level?
So for sure. I actually played with Bulgaria first because I wanted the experience. Like we played Spain, we played Portugal, we played great teams in Europe. So it was great for me to have that experience as a younger player. And then I did make the switch to Canada to go with the U20s and, have also that opportunity and all of that for sure. But obviously the Bulgarian national team, when I was with the U17, they already approached me to go with the seniors like right away.
Oh, I see.
So for me, it was more of I'm gonna wait a second and see what, happens in my life. And I'm not gonna take any decisions at 17 years old. So I was just gonna see how everything goes. And obviously I want my opportunity where the best, option is. And I'm just gonna wait and keep playing what I can do in the pros and hopefully get a call up with Team Canada and the seniors. It's a big gap between U20s and seniors for sure. So I'm just going to keep working and grinding as a pro and see what happens.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for enlightening us there, because that is personally, I'm just a big fan of the international game, especially, and I love watching, all the countries compete. So when people have another option for an international team, that's always very cool, and I do like dialing in on that. But I will take it back a little bit more, and I wanted to know specifically what the soccer culture is like in Canada, and more specifically, what it's like in Quebec. I know that there are a lot of good players, men's and women's, that are coming out of that province, and there are a lot of players who are stepping into the professional level now. So yeah, I wanted to know, I guess, what your experience was there, and what it was like growing up in that soccer culture.
For sure. I started playing soccer pretty late, actually, because I have an older sister, so I just followed her in everything she did. So she did swimming, I did swimming. She did ballet, I did ballet. And then one day I told my mom, I was like, Mom, like, I want to do soccer. Like, all the boys at school play soccer. And she's like, soccer? Like, that's for boys. And I was like, no, I want to do it. And then she signed me up, and that's how I started playing soccer, and I loved it right away. And, in Canada, I grew up there, and I played for a few clubs back home, and it was great. I just tried to go on to the best opportunity, the best club, the best everything. I just wanted to learn and like go on to the next. So no, it was great. And there's this REX program that we have in Canada, which is tied with the national team. So when I went to high school, I switched high school twice or three times if you count Florida, but I switched high school in Canada to go to the rec. So I would go to school in the morning, leave at 12, and then take the bus, go train with the rec center for the afternoon, and then do my homework there, and then go home. So that was every single day, and it was great. It was like great opportunity for me to get better and get seen. And then I had to leave because I had a better opportunity here in the States. And obviously there was no pro league at the time in Canada. So for me, it was, okay, what's next? And then it was like the States or Europe, like that's where the next pro or, college opportunity is. But now obviously you guys probably know, like there's a new league in Canada. So it's growing, and I'm so proud of my country for, growing and having these different teams now that is going to pick up and have our own pro league. But yeah, it's been good, and I've tried to learn as much as I can from everywhere.
Gotcha. And I definitely want to get back to the Northern Super League at some point, but I do want to go to my next question, which was related to just your transition to the professional game. Obviously, you went to USF. Denise Schulte Brown, good manager there, and she brought you into her team for the professional ranks. So my question is related to, I guess, a little bit more how the Sun play. You've been tasked with playing it out of the back a lot, and I think that you and Brooke Hendricks and Ashley Orcus all are actually involved in that. So I just wanted to know if that was the type of player that you were, or if this is a bit of a transition moving into the professional ranks where you're being asked to do something that previously was not necessarily a task for you.
For sure. I've always loved to be on the ball, and I've always been told, "Oh, you're a center back. Like you're technical for a center back." So a lot of people are not used to building out of the back or being on the ball, but I love being on the ball. So does Hendricks and Orcus, and we love doing it. And yeah, I don't think it was anything new because at USF it was the same expectations for me to get on the ball and build out of the back because we're like the first line of attack. So we build, and it's like a little bit like a quarterback. But yeah, no, I love it, and I love being on the ball. So it was not new to me.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that is also good to hear, obviously, because naturally it is a big part of the Sun game recently. And I'll just have two more questions. The last one will be about the Northern Super League, but I do want to ask you about the in-season transition that the Sun have gone through, where we originally started with a different formation, and then more recently we have moved to 3 at the back. So I just wanted to ask you to explain to us, I guess, the difference in duties between those two formations and how you think the Sun have improved now that we're playing in a different style.
Of course. Well, in the first half of the season, we started in a 4, and I think things went well for us. And then we made a change after December to 3-back, and I was on the right center back, which I've never done before. I usually am the middle of the center back. But I think we tried to love it, and we tried to, learn from it and do the best that we could at it. Everyone was all in about it, and we just wanted to, perform with it. And then obviously recently we changed again, but it's just what we think is best. And obviously we play different teams, we have different people in the field, so it's just the best opportunity for us to succeed. Yeah.
Gotcha. And yeah, for the sake of time, I will wrap it up with this question, but you mentioned it already. There's the Northern Super League. I believe that's starting relatively soon. The Canadian Premier League started soon, so I can't imagine that the Super League isn't too far behind it. But yeah, so there is a team in Montreal. I think the Montreal Roses, and maybe they're a team to play for down the line. Obviously, you're with Tampa Bay right now, and we love having you here for as long as possible. But I just wanted to ask, I guess, what's the hype around the league? Is there any buzz? Is there stuff coming out of Canada? And are the Roses automatically your second favorite team?
For sure. I think it's all new, and a lot of people are excited about it because we've never had one, and it's pretty much built by all women, so which is very interesting, and super, super proud of Canada to have their own league. For sure, yeah, I'm from Montreal, and I'll follow the league for sure and see how they do. But as of now, I'm in Tampa, and that's what I'm focused on right now. But no, it's super exciting to see the women's soccer build and grow, because obviously there's so many girls out there that want an opportunity, and there's not that many teams compared to the men's side. So it's definitely something super exciting, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think the main thing is the opportunity, because going through the rosters every now and again, I've seen that I think the vast majority of them are younger Canadian players, and that's exactly what you want out of a league. So that's just very cool to see. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Liz, I'll turn it back over to you if you have any final questions.
Oh, I guess one last thing, if I could steal you for a couple more minutes. You said your mom said soccer's for boys. But you're clearly showing little girls that they can be pros. Do you have any thoughts on you being the next generation of inspiration for young soccer players?
Yes, for sure. My mom said that because obviously she's old school. She's from Europe. In Europe, there's not much women's soccer, but she is my biggest fan. She's here at every single game that she can be at. She loves following. She always texts me before the game. I'm watching, my TV set up. I'm super excited, and obviously she couldn't be more proud of what I'm doing, and she sees herself in me. So she's extremely happy, and she loves it for me. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to us. We really, really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks. All right. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that. Vivianne Bessette is awesome, and we love her so much. And we can't wait to see her on Saturday when we play Lexington.
Yes, we got the Green Horsies coming down. It's been a minute since we played them. I think the last time was back in Liz, October. I don't know.
No, this is our first match against Lexington this whole season?
This spring. It's our first match against them in the spring. Yeah, in the spring.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. I meant spring. Sorry.
But yes, we have beaten them twice before. Our second ever game was against them. We beat them 3-2. Shout out Molly Margaret's. We had a good watch party there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow, that was a million years ago.
That one, yes. And then we beat them again at home 3-1.
That's right.
So working on them. It is a team that has had their fair share of struggles, especially lately. They got rid of their coach. They got a new one. He's mixed things up. I would say much to the chagrin of a lot of the Lexington fans up there. Couple players on the bench that weren't on the bench. Maddie Parsons, in particular, a player I've shouted out before on the show, came in their last match against Dallas as a halftime substitute. and kind of help them get their groove back. But it's the first half, especially in that match against Dallas that Lexington just played, they looked pretty rough. Just some 7th place team style mistakes. So yeah, they went into that half down 1-0 and then finished at 3-0. Again, it's a very good Dallas team that practically scores at will, but Lexington was more than willing to let them. To that end, they've got some players to keep an eye on. Sarah Cox, their goalkeeper. She has not personally conceded all of these. Lexington, as a team, has conceded 42 goals, the most in the league. Sarah Cox has made 52 saves, which is the most in the league. They're making poor Sarah Cox work hard. She's a good goalie, but when you're facing that many shots, it's going to start to get nasty.
Wait, how many are we? 52 goals. Wow.
52 goals. 52
okay,
saves.
To put it in percent. 52 saved.
42 goals.
Conceded. Okay.
42, yes, which is insane.
Okay.
Ashley Orcus is 3rd in the league with 42 saves, by the way, and she hasn't even played all of our games.
Yeah.
And so Lexington is last in the league in shots taken with just 182. That's like 20 or 30 less than the next team up. So again, it's a team that's struggling. It's a team that had a bit of an identity, and that has just been scrambled since the new coach came in. Sitting players, they signed, like I think I said earlier in the show, they signed like 8 players, 6 offensive minded, 2 defensive minded during the break, and you can tell they don't have that continuity. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of players kind of playing their own thing, and comes down to what's going on with the coaching. It's a problem Lexington fans I've spoken with have raised. So I do hope it's a team that kind of gets their things figured out both on and off the field, just not this Saturday. I hope they get absolutely.
Yeah, no, could you figure it out Sunday, actually?
Yeah.
Sunday
actually,
sounds great on the plane ride home.
To be fair, we play them 2 of our last 7 games, so maybe don't figure it out at all, actually.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So the other players.
Shout out to the Sun scheduling staff for backloading ours with the.
Yeah, if that's how that works.
The not so great, the lower half of the table teams.
Yeah, we have 7 games left in the season. Treasure them all. There's only 7 left in the regular season. 4 of those games are against Lexington and DC, 7th and 8th place in the league. So this is our chance to get hot, stay hot, make that push. We don't have to worry about the Dallases and the Carolinas. Well, we got 1 game against Carolina, but the Dallases, the Brooklyns, even though they're on a downslide. Fort Lauderdale,
but I'll be there, so
out of the way.
We'll win because I'll be there. Yeah,
the Liz push.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a good chance to take the momentum from that Fort Lauderdale game, keep it pushing. We're gonna have to keep an eye out for some players. Sarah Cox, of course, good goalie, but she doesn't get a lot of support, and we'll hopefully see some of that. Shay Moyer, number 25 in the center mid. She is a very good player, kind of runs the midfield for them. Be on the lookout for her connecting the pieces. Right midfield, Maddie Parsons, number 15. She's a player I like on that team. She's tied in the league lead for assist, I want to say, with 5. She really changed the vibes for that Lexington team when she came on in the halftime of the Dallas game. A couple other players I like. Lopez up top, one of the new players, the young Colombians that they got, her and Cynthia Cabezas, 2 young Colombian national team players, I think both on loan from not LAFC, Angel City, excuse me. I'm watching Vancouver.
It's LAFC, right, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm watching the Whitecaps game, so I got that on mind. But
wait,
yeah,
is Tate Johnson playing?
Who? Tate Johnson? He might be. I've got it on silent because somebody complained about my background noise earlier.
I did, yes. That was me.
And valid, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cabezas on the left side, she's very fast. Something to look out for. It's going to could be a bit of a problem for us. I hope Haugen can keep up with her. I got no doubts about our defense's ability to slide to and help out. Courtney Jones, the right back, on the other side, number 24. Throughout the season, she's been a consistent player for Lexington. Has the ability to get upfield, play the ball inside, create chances for them. And then Their defensive midfielder, Naeong Shin, she may actually finally be back from her international commitments with South Korea. And just to say she's out there playing for the South Korean national team, a consistent World Cup squad, that goes to show the kind of player she is. Quite possibly the best defensive midfielder in the Super League. If I'm going to remove biases from it, Naeong Shin is a great player and dangerous when she's out there. I don't know if they feel the need to rest her. I don't know what the new coach's opinion of her is being gone. But that'll be an important piece to watch out for, maybe more than any other decision, is Naeong Shin on the field for Lexington.
And if she's on the field, we could get the first red card.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. She loves Fallon. Viv Bessette loves Fallon.
Yeah.
We could get this. Fingers crossed. I don't want it to be us, but if it has to be.
No, obligatory mention that we haven't had a red card and therefore are not a legitimate lead.
Yeah. Still.
Yep.
But yeah, all that being said, keeping those players in mind, this is a Lexington team that has struggled very mightily, has had a lot of discontinuity, hasn't found their footing. Their feetings have been lost. So I think we ride our high and we carry all that momentum into a very good 3-0 win this weekend. How you feeling, Liz?
I think it's going to be a 2-0 win again.
Yeah.
I do. Obviously I'd love 3 because I love, let's get that goal differential better. I can't think of the word. You want a low goal differential.
High goal differential.
High goal differential.
Positive
High.
numbers. Positive.
Okay, it's 11:30 when we're recording this. My brain is dead. I'm so sorry. You know what I meant. Anything we can do to help boost us come playoff time, that would be great. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a 2-0 win. Eureka's a hater.
This guy.
Yeah, and thinks it's gonna be a 2-1 win. He doesn't think Orcus can keep a clean sheet. Orcus, do you hear that? Do you hear that?
Come on. I think we got it. Either way, undisputed. We're gonna win. 3 points.
Yeah, I think Sunrise said 1-1. I think.
Yeah,
right?
But that's a robot. So
yeah, a robot that's right most of the time.
Yeah, a very intelligent robot. So real quick, let's hit some of the recap for our international players, and then go into the rest of the league. Cecilia Flew was back with the Denmark U23s, and she made the most of that. 2 goals in their 3-1 win over Scotland. So she's inevitably bound to be a regular for the Danish national team. She's already appeared for it. Shout out to her. She's if that helps, and I've been a little down on her domestically at the club level for us in past games, but if she can go out there, put 2 past Scotland, come back hot and confident, I think that's a great sign for her.
Absolutely.
I
love that we can fill in those gaps when we don't have her.
Yeah, with players like Goins and Tankersley, young players. And Flew, 22, also young. I love that. Sydney Schneider did not have as much fun as Flew did. She had to join Jamaica for 2 games against Mexico. Obviously, a very good national team. She did sit for 90 minutes in a 0-3 loss on Saturday, and then she did take all 90 minutes in a 0-4 loss to Mexico. She had a really good early save, but man, 0-7 over the course of 2 games. Mexico really outclassed Jamaica. There was some bad marking, some poor defending. I think she could have done a lot better on the Mexican second goal. The classic case of when playing it out of the back goes wrong. And they jumped her short pass to her defender. But, I mean, that's a tough game to play. All 4 of those goals happened inside 35 minutes, which means from then on out, she kept a clean sheet. Ignore the 4 early ones. But yeah, that's
35 minutes.
Yeah, it was an onslaught. And that's the second time they played them in just a couple days. So that's a Mexican team that figured out what they want to do against Jamaica, went out and really did it. She was not in a good spot. You kind of like her to go out there and play like Cuba or Dominican Republic, not Mexico. But it is what it is. We know she's a good keeper. Andrea Hawksdaughter was back in UEFA Nations League play. She came on as a 68th minute sub on the left midfield for Iceland in a 0-0 draw against Norway. And then she sat for all 90 in a 3-3 draw against Switzerland. So it will be nice to have all of them back. Let's see. And so that's our international girls. Good to have them back. Special shout out to Flu for a brace in international play. And then real quick, Liz, the rest of the league. DC lost 1-0 to Dallas. Not a huge win. I think DC did a good job of absorbing pressure, especially considering they started a 14-year-old. Shout out to Valentina Parada. Classic example of Italian excellence at a young age. Yeah, my God. Yikes, DC. What else we got? Spokane, 1-0 over Brooklyn. The wheels have come off in the Big Apple. Mackenzie
They're
Warner,
officially Brooklyn.
Brokeland, yep. Brokeland, not good at soccer anymore. And so those were the other two games that happened. Liz, do you want to tell us about the full slate of action coming up this Saturday besides our game?
Oh my goodness. Well, you can pick your poison. This Saturday. Everyone is playing. Everybody's playing.
Everybody's playing.
And they are all playing at Saturday, almost at the same time, which is not super annoying at all. So we start out with 7 p.m. We have Carolina versus Brooklyn. Go Ascent, but only that one game.
That will help us.
At 7 p.m. You also have us playing Lexington at home. Get your tickets if you haven't already. If you need a ticket and you want to join the Heatwave Discord, we have tickets up in the ticket exchange. I had to put a sentence together and then it fell apart and then I put it back together. There we go. So if you need tickets, hit up the Heatwave Ticket Exchange. It's at the Heatwave on Instagram. Pretty easy to find. We're tagged in a lot of Sun stuff, so even if you go to a Sun page, go look at some stuff. We're tagged. Easy peasy. Come out. I do know there is the Rowdies game, which shout out Rowdies. On Wednesdays we wear pink, but also FC Tampa Bay because I'm feeling nostalgic. Yes, and you have your scarf.
There, I'm doing it.
I love it. Excellent. And then at 7:30, Fort Lauderdale plays DC Power. Hoping for the Power to pull out a win. That'd be super cool.
No, you can do
Broke Fort Lauderdale for them. Yeah, we did all that work of breaking Fort Lauderdale for DC. The least they could do is beat them.
We do beat hot teams, and then they go on and usually lose a couple more games after they lose to us. That's our gimmick.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then about 10 minutes after our game ends, Spokane will play Dallas.
Yeah.
Here they draw.
Go draw. Yeah, we want that.
Go draw.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. And if you get back home in time, you can probably catch the second half of it after going to our game. Kind of looking ahead a little bit, doing a little bit of prognosticating now that we're at the tail end of the season. If we win and if Carolina beats Brooklyn, that would put Sun FC into fourth place finally, regardless of what happens with Fort Lauderdale or anything. Because gosh knows we don't want to be relying on a DC Power upset over Fort Lauderdale. But we are rooting hard for Carolina Ascent over the weekend. Now, if you add a DC win over Fort Lauderdale into that, why did I type this? Baby, you got a spicy chili going.
No, you gotta but I thought that see, all I can think of is the line from Arrested Development, and it's baby, you got a stew going.
Got a stew going. Yeah, that's what I was thinking probably. But so yes, obviously we want DC to get the win over Fort Lauderdale. That'll help us a bunch. We don't necessarily need that so bad as we need Carolina winning and obviously us winning. The Zephyr Trinity match, not quite as important for us because they're both kind of Zephyr is nipping at our heels a little bit, and Dallas is pretty hot. I think a draw would be the best case scenario there because I don't want Spokane getting a hot streak going at this point in the year when we need to be the team pushing for the playoffs more than they should.
Yes.
So it's tight. It's going to come down to it. But like I said, 4 of our last 7 games are against 7th and 8th place in the league. So if the playoff push is going to happen, we gotta push, and we got some soft teams to push against. So I can see it happening, maybe more easily than the vibes of the spring season could have you believe. I think we are more likely to make the playoffs if we just get a little hot based off our remaining schedule. We got to win games. We got to win these quote-unquote easy games against quote-unquote lesser opposition. You can't win the
keep
league
our heads
unless you win
down.
games. But
Keep our heads down. Keep doing what we're doing.
with this past win over Fort Lauderdale, the
Yeah.
path ahead looks a little bit clearer.
Yeah. It definitely does. That about wraps it up, Tom. I think we definitely went long enough.
Yeah, really. We usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
so
guys. We love you.
look forward to the end of the season with us, guys.
Yeah. See you next week. Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.